Today's video I'm going to show you how to blur someone's face out. Now we're going to hop right into the editor and we're going to show you what I'm talking about today. Now recently I did a video for the Creative Life unboxing. I was unboxing some merchandise that was sent to me, some t-shirts, and unfortunately my dumbass actually left my address visible. Thanks to my wife's good eye, I was able to catch that mistake before I actually made the video public, and I was able to quickly censor it. So what we're going to do is create a new sequence. And we're going to pick a random video clip and see what we can blur out. Let's just say that the image that we see on screen is actually sensitive information and we want to blur that out. Now, the first thing that we're going to want to do is actually create an adjustment layer. You're going to want to keep the settings, the default settings, just because it's going to automatically be set to whatever your sequence settings are. Now, we drag the adjustment layer on top. Normally what you're going to want to do is you want to scrub through the footage and actually pinpoint the exact ins and out points that you want to be censored. In this case, we're going to do the entire clip. Now once you get your adjustment layer in there, you're going to go to the effects control. In the effects control, you're going to scroll down to opacity. What you're going to want to do is create an elliptical mask. Once you get the elliptical mask up there, you're going to drag it and you're going to position it and make it as big as you can to fit whatever it is that you're trying to blur. Now make sure your playhead is actually at the beginning of the footage that you want to be censored, just because we're going to be doing keyframes as well. What I like to do is go right onto the adjustment layer. I'm going to drag the camera blur. Once you drag the camera blur in there, you can quickly see that where we have that elliptical mask is blurred. This clip, I'm kind of cheating because it's a fairly easy clip to work with, but if there's any movement, you're going to want to actually keyframe to make sure that this mask stays on whatever object it is that you want censored. Now, the best way that we could do this is by toggling animation on by clicking the stopwatch on mask path. That creates our first mask. We could go one by one, so we can go one frame over and adjust the mask if we need to. So if we adjust it, it'll make another keyframe, and then if we go again, if we actually go one more frame over, you see that it's not really moving, barely moving because it's a slow motion clip. But in the event that this was moving and you need to track an object, you're going to want to move the mask over and change directions depending on where the object that you're looking to censor is on the frame. And since you're creating keyframes along the way, what's going to happen is when you actually play this back, it's essentially just tracking the object that you want censored. Now there is another way to do that. If you actually just click this play button right here, it's going to track selected mask forward, and Adobe automatically does it for you. It actually does save you a lot of time, and all you're going to have to do is just go back into each keyframe and just tweak it if Adobe kind of messed up a little. Remember, you're always going to have to go in and manually adjust, just because you want to have full control over your project. Now once complete, review it, and if you look at the clip, it's pretty much tracking everything exactly how I wanted to. But this is a very simple clip because there's really not a lot of movement. Of course, this is going to get more complicated if you have movement. The principle still applies. You create an adjustment layer, you add an elliptical or rectangular mask, or you freehand the mask, whatever it is that you want to do. You add the camera blur effect to that adjustment layer, and then you add keyframes along the way, making sure that the object that you want censored is tracked. And there's two ways you could do that: manually inputting keyframes or letting Adobe track it for you, and then going back and tweaking those keyframes to your liking. So hopefully you found this video valuable and you won't leave out any sensitive information as I almost did. Until next time, remember, consume less and create more.